Today we're discussing living on your own, bruh, slash moving out. Now, this is all from my perspective, man. I'm sure people out there might be able to relate to what I'm saying, might disagree, but it's all from my personal experience. Now, from my personal experience, now listen, first and foremost, let me say this. Moving out, living on your own is inevitable. Inevitable means like it has to happen, bruh. That mean if you living with G-Ma, your grandma, your uncle, your aunt, your mom, and your dad, eventually you gotta move out, bro. It's inevitable for everybody. Now, from my perspective, it's bittersweet, bro. But I'm gonna give y'all some gems and sauce to help y'all. The reason it's bittersweet is sweet in the sense of, yo, you have the ultimate freedom, and the ultimate freedom when you're a kid is like you get to do whatever you want. You get to stay out late, you get to sleep in, you get to have people over. That sounds like amazing, right? You know what I mean? That's the sweet part. Now the bitter part is you really gotta really hold down the fort when you get out there in the sea. You jumping off the ship, you know what I mean? You leaving the nest. You gotta be able to hold down the fort. And for some people, bro, they want to get that early. They want to jump the nest early. They want to move out so fast. They can't wait to grow up. They ready. You know what I mean? For others, man, they might not have a choice. They might have to just move out because of the situation. From my perspective, bro, I had to move out at the age of 18. You know what I mean? I say if I could like give you a good age to move out at right now, I say be like wait till you about 22, 23, man. Stack enough bread. And on a financial basis to move out, I say you probably need about roughly 9,000 put up for emergency, bro. Just to be cool. This is from somebody that moved out at 18. At the end of the day, once you move out, bro, a lot of things are gonna show about you, who you are. And what do you mean who you are? Like your characteristics, your traits. Now, growing up, bro, I always was somebody who's a self-starter, bro. I do a lot of things on my own. Like I remember I was in elementary school for real, like, or middle school. It was middle school. Now it was elementary school. Most of my friends had a phone or something. Some of my friends had a phone. I wanted a phone. My OG and you like what you need a phone for? So I remember I first bought a track phone, bro. I remember I bought my track phone. You feel me? Like at the end of the day, that was like my first phone. I remember you couldn't even call me, bro. You had to text me because the minutes was so low on the junk. I had like 90 minutes. I can't be calling you. Yo, Kevin Tyler, what's up? I had to text you on the track phone, but it was like I was always somebody that would want to do something without being told. So living on my own, bro, that's one of the reasons I'm successful. Cause I ain't gonna lie. Let's say you live with your mom, your granddad, your aunt, your mom and dad. You lazy. You a lazy person. Once you live on your own, fam, you're gonna be a lazy person. What that mean? You're not gonna clean up. You're not gonna wake up on time. You're not gonna do anything. Cause you're lazy. You have those characteristics at home already. So when you get on your own, it just shows you who you really are. Like for me, I always had to wake up early when I was younger. You know what I mean? Sundays, bro, I gotta be the first one up early. I'm ironing the clothes for my family. You feel me? I ain't like doing none of that. I'm like, man, I'm ironing the clothes for everybody. What? Man, what's up with that? But my OG, like, now you gotta do this. But now I know how to do that for myself. I know how to tie. Like, a lot of the times what you learning at your grandma crib, your mom's, your dad's, bro, you might look at it like, man, this is corny. This is weak. I don't want to do this chore, man. I don't want to. Bro, all this translate to you living on your own, moving out, being by yourself. Cause, bro, I don't went to people crib. They crib dirty as ever, bro. Bathroom dirty as ever, bro. I don't want to even drink water in here. Why they crib dirty as ever? Cause growing up, they never wanted to clean up. They, of course, as kids, you gonna complain, but you learning to clean up for yourself, gang. Cause you eventually gotta get your own place. You feel me? Like a lot of the things you learning at the house, Before you move out, these are attributes that you need to succeed living on your own. Otherwise, you get the end result of returning back to the nest. Everybody got to face that door of having to return back to the nest. When I say return back to the nest, I mean you done moved out. You done been out for 2 years. Now you got to move back in with your parents. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it shows that you wasn't ready. It shows that you still have bad attributes to where you're going to have issues being on your own. What do I mean bad attributes? Like I said, growing up, I always had to be up early, man. Middle school gang, I had to wake up at 5:30 to catch the bus. I don't know why. I got to catch the bus at 5:30 because there was so many people going to my middle school. So I ain't gonna lie, my OG wasn't waking me up at 5:30. I had to get up. So I got that down in middle school. Boom. On the weekends, I used to love to sleep in. His thing to do, he'd be at work, he'd call. Had one of my siblings bring the phone to me at like 8, 9 in the morning and say to me, a man shouldn't sleep past 11. You know what I'm saying? Fishing with James. What's up, bro? What's up with Aaron? What's up with everybody in here? I'm just discussing living on your own. You know what I mean? Yo, what up, bro? But he'll be like, a man shouldn't sleep past 11. My pops is waking me up on Saturdays and Sundays, fam, at 9, 8 in the morning. And I ain't used to like that. I was like, man, bro, it's a Saturday. I'm waking up early all through the week. What's up with him? Let me sleep, dog. But now living on my own, first 2 years on my own, I ain't gonna lie, like, I get to sleep in. So I'm sleeping in for real regularly, but look, that's affecting my attendance at work, gang. No cap. I'm sleeping in too much. You feel me? And I had to break that habit because it's like, bro, I used to love doing that at the house, but my OG ain't let me do that at the house. Now I get why. Living on my own, you gotta be able to wake up on time. Ain't nobody there to wake you up. You gonna miss work. You miss work, you can't pay the bills. Because at home, you might be getting woken up early, but you don't get why. Like, until you live on your own, you gotta get up for work. You gotta work in a morning job, bro. I was working this one job, bro. The only thing it was sales, bro. I was so good at the job. But I'm not gonna lie, it was times, bro, I'd be like an hour late. Cause I had to open a shop. You feel me? It's like it was a business, a kiosk. You know what I mean? Shout out to he said he going up to the lake. Hopefully you catch some fishes though, man. Go down. Big, big tilapia, salmon, all that. Mackerels. But yeah, I'm opening up the shop, man. I'm getting there, bro, an hour late. That the bosses was like my friends, you feel me? I done talked about these guys a few times, but it was just my performance was good, bro. That's the only reason I was there. If my performance wasn't good, I would have been gone. The numbers I was putting up was good numbers. So it's like I kind of took advantage of that. Sometimes I'd be late, like 2 hours. And it was a competitive job. We competing with other sales. So it's like people already up on me like 2,000 on the day. What? That just boosts me up like, man, I'm late. What? I gotta sell 3K in less than an hour. And that's what I be doing. So it'll show them like, now we gotta keep this guy. But that's a habit that I had at home, bro. You feel me? Some people, you dirty at home. You don't want to clean your room. You don't want to clean your bathroom. You know what I mean? But when you get on your own, who gonna clean your room? Who gonna clean your bathroom? That's up to you. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of the attributes you learning at home, you gotta take with you when you get on your own. It's necessary, bro. I go to some people crib, bro. They don't even got no toilet paper. You wondering like, yo, how they wipe their butt? You feel me? Cause one of the key things I'm about to say to you that whoever watches the live should keep in mind is this, bro. Maintain a certain lifestyle for a long period of time is one of the hardest things to do. And what do I mean by that? Like, okay, I don't know your living situation. You don't know everybody's living situation, but let's say they're in a good living situation, a decent living situation. What's a decent living situation? Why, yes, man, these folks got a nice place to live, lay their head. There's food provided. They have decent clothes to wear. You feel me? bills are paid, lights are on, water's available. These are like nice living conditions, bro. You feel what I'm saying? And once you're living in those conditions, you don't really understand how hard it is to maintain that for a long period of time. Takes a lot of patience, hard work, sacrifice, and dedication. Like having your phone on all the time, you having electricity, bruh. You got food, you got clothes, you got a cell phone, you got television. Once you get on your own, you have to maintain all of these things. There might be times you might not be able to pay your phone bill. Your phone might have to be off for a couple months. Anybody that's living on their own can attest to that. You know what I mean? You might not be able to have all the food in the fridge you want. You might be only gonna have noodles or something, cereal. This is true, living on your own. So if you're in a good living condition right now, it's like, man, appreciate that. Appreciate you having electricity. Appreciate you having water, food. You ain't gotta worry about maintaining that, because whoever's maintaining that, it takes a lot of hard work, bro. So if you want to move on your own, live on your own, stack up 9 to 10,000. You gonna need that. Real talk. Life is very expensive right now. You know what I'm saying? You need about at least 9 to 10,000. If you are in a situation where you're living with someone else, your auntie, your uncle, mom, or dad, bro, help around the crib, bro. This is something I say to my siblings all the time because it's the truth, man. When I was at the crib, I had to do everything, fam. Grass, lawn, clean, whatever, dishes, whatever. It's like I ain't like doing none of that stuff. I'm trying to be outside, fam, all day, hooping, outside, whatever, just doing something outside. But these are things I had to take care of before I can even go outside. Now, my OG used to say to me, like, man, you not learning this for me. You learning this for yourself. And I'm like, man, what? I'm learning this for myself, bro. You got me doing all this stuff at the crib, bro. I'm working over here, bro. Whole time he was 100% right. When I'm at the crib, I wash the dishes. I'm sweeping. I'm taking out the trash. You feel me? I'm doing my laundry. At the crib, I had to learn how to do laundry. I'm ironing my clothes. So when you live on your own, if you ain't got $1 million or a maid, who you think supposed to do all this stuff for you? You? Nobody supposed to do all this stuff for you. That's why when you at the spot, at your family spot, your auntie spot, your grandma's spot, somebody's spot where you living at, you gotta be cool, you gotta be humble, you gotta help out. You gotta pitch in. You gotta learn these attributes, bro. These attributes are gonna be the reason why somebody might want to come to your crib and they feel comfortable. They might sit down. They could drink some water out there. They like, yo, bro, crib is clean. Bathroom clean. My boy got a tissue in here. Homie got bottles of water to drink. He got the AC busting. Man, it's the spot. That's all. That's all they gonna be thinking. Like, yo, this the spot. As compared to, they go to somebody's crib. Man, the rug is dirty, trash everywhere. Like, you don't even want to sit down on the sofas and couches because how it look. You open the fridge filthy. You go in the bathroom smelling, no tissue, nasty sink, toilet. You not trying to be in there. You not thinking this the spot. You thinking like, yo, this person dirty. Like, yo, I ain't even trying to be in here. Let's dip. As compared to if you go to somebody else's crib, it's the total opposite. You like, yo, this the spot. You probably want to chill, relax, calm, you cool, vibing. So all I'm trying to say is, man, you need to learn certain things before you even want to get on your own. And then if you are in a decent living situation, look, learn these things. These things are there to help you when you get on your own. You gotta be somebody on top of your game. Somebody can't come to your crib. It's dirty. You feel me? You got mad dishes in the sink. You got roaches. I was told, bro, we can't even leave dishes in the sink because that bring roaches. You feel me? I grew up in an African house. It was like, yo, dishes in the sink, that's gonna bring roaches. I don't know if the roaches coming out the sink, they smell the food, you heard, but no dishes left in the sink because of that, B. You know what I'm saying? So living on your own is bittersweet, man. You get to do whatever you want, man. You drink every night. You like drinking. That what you like. Nobody gonna be like, yo, put that bottle down. What you like partying every night? You could party every night, bro. You know what I'm saying? What you just want to lay down all day? You could lay down for 20 hours. Nobody's gonna say, hey, you can't sleep for 20 hours. You know, you might miss phone calls and texts, but what? You don't want to do anything all day and you live on your own, you can do that all the time. That's the sweet part. You get the ultimate freedom. You don't want to go to work. You could call in every day and get fired. No cap. Nobody's gonna be like, yo, don't call in. You know what I mean? So all the attributes you have before you leave the nest, bro, if they bad, they gotta be tweaked. Cause when you get on your own, it's like you're gonna have to return the shame. But I understand, like, everybody has to face that return, man. Once you face that return, it's like, okay, what do I do? Like, do I go back and look like I wasn't ready, or do I thug it out to see if I'm really like that? You know what I mean? And I've been through that a lot of times. When you on your own, it's not a smooth sailing. When you at the crib, at auntie crib, granny crib, it's a smooth sailing. They got stuff maintained. Food, clothes, water, electricity, phone. When you on your own, you gotta maintain all of that. How can you maintain all of that? Can you maintain all of that for decades, for eternity? Like that's the truth. Nobody telling you, yeah, you can have the girls in the spot, yeah. You know, you got a little paper. Everybody at your crib, like, yeah, my boy got his own crib, yeah, we lit. Why? When the paper going, you gotta pay the bills. What can you do? You've been partying, you've been turning up, you've been financially irresponsible. Like, these are things you gotta tweak before you get on your own. You gonna have to go back to the crib. And when you go back to the crib, it's like your parents is right, man. You weren't ready. You feel me? Because everybody wanna get out there on their own, have their own crib. But you gotta be ready. You gotta be able to maintain that for a long time. It's not just all sweet. You just free. You hitting Danes every night. Your man's here. You know, got your peoples in here, bottles in here. Like that's the sweet part. The bitter part, you gotta be responsible. You gotta take care of them bills. You gotta keep the crib clean. Taking out the trash, dishes, garbage, whipping up food for yourself. That's the bitter part. So if you don't like doing none of that from wherever you was living before, your parents, your auntie, you're not gonna do that now. All that is not even an option for you. You're not even thinking about that. Dishes is piling up. You ain't taking out the trash. It's stinking in your spot. Why? Because you wasn't doing that at the spot, bro. You feel me? So it's like you need attributes to live on your own. You need certain attributes. You need certain factors to your characteristics. You need certain ground traits. You dig what I'm saying? Or it's gonna be tough. Like one of my mans, I rock with my mans. My mans, this is a true story, man. But at the end of the day, I never like doing none of this at the spot. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I just want to go outside, hoop, be with my guys, do whatever. You heard? I'm a youngin'. But it's like it's certain things I gotta do before I even can go outside, bro. I was one of them guys. You come to the crib, you like, yo, why is here? My OG is telling you like he can't come outside right now. You feel me? Why? Cause, bro, I got mash I gotta do before I can even go to outside. You feel me? By the time I get outside, it's like, okay, everybody's outside, but it's like, dang, I got like a cutoff. You feel me? Cause it's like strict guidelines to keep me pure. You know what I mean? Is where I was staying. So at the end of the day, it's like, man, one of the things I had to do, I always had to make rice. And I ain't just making rice for me, gang. I'm making rice for the whole family. So I'm putting rice, a decent amount of rice in the pot for the whole family to make sure it's the right texture. It gotta be cooked right, the right amount of water. So I had mastered making rice. You feel me? So one of my homies, he used to come to my crib. I chef up some little slice stuff for us to eat. You feel me? My boy Lotto, and he'll be like, yo, bro, Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. And I laughed when he said this, but then I understood later why he said this. And I'm gonna tell y'all, he be like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Every time you make the rice, bro, you make the rice the perfect way, bro. And him saying that, I was laughing because in my head, I'm looking at bro like, nah, I appreciate the compliment, but you know how many times that I had to make rice, not just only for me, bro, for others, to where it's like I didn't like doing this stuff at the time, but now you saying thank you complimenting me for making rice, bro. Something that I consider simple. It shows like, okay, dang, this was really beneficial. Cause fast forward, I go to bro crib and this my homie, he know how to make other stuff, but he struggled with making rice. Cause he was finna cook up for us, chef for us, cause this is what he do too. But the rice wasn't, all the way there. You know what I mean? And I keep it a bean with him. I'm like, yo, slap that back on for a little while. You feel me? Add a little more woo, cause that's my guy. But it shows like, okay, this is not something that he had to consistently do. You feel me? But he told me his OG was a chef, so maybe the option was there. Maybe he didn't want it. You never know. But I'm telling you all these things because, bro, moving out, yeah, it's great, man. It's fantastic to be on your own, being responsible, being independent. But you got to pick up a lot of attributes where you're at right now and take that with you, bro. You got to pick up the attributes of what's in front of you and take that with you. Because if you don't take that with you, you're gonna be a filthy animal on your own. You're gonna be irresponsible. You're not gonna pay the bills. Next thing you know, you gotta come back to the nest. That's how it's gonna go. And ask around, bro. It's a lot of people that done had to return back to the nest, but they returned back to the nest because they had ill attributes. They wasn't responsible. They wasn't hard working. They wanted to be lazy. They had a problem waking up. They didn't clean. These are things that, bro, you might be doing at your spot, your mom house, your dad house, your auntie house, but you really doing it for you, gang. Cause when you on your own, you gotta do all that. You gotta maintain the bills. You gotta pay the rent. You know what I mean? You gotta pay your phone. Like, you gotta figure out how you getting to work. Like, you on your own. Ain't nobody doing this for you, man. So it's bittersweet, man. But anybody can do it that's ready and prepared and has a lot of several attributes because it's needed. And I ain't gonna hold you. I've been out on my own since 18, fam. Like, it's been like a century run. Like, I'm thankful. And a lot of that deals with God. You feel me? I'm not gonna hold you. God has literally, along with attributes that I already had, God has literally kept me swimming, bro. You feel me? Kept me swimming, bro. Cause when you at your family crib, you at your auntie, your grandma, you on a boat, man. You on a nice boat. Might not be a yacht, but you on a boat. Once you jump off the boat, you in the water, you in the sea. You swimming on your own, fam. You gotta stay afloat. Most people drown and they gotta get rescued. A lot of people drown, they gotta get rescued in life. They need help, because they don't have certain attributes. Or they didn't take the time to pick them up. You know what I'm saying? And being on a century run, bruh, it's been nuts. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. It's nuts, boy. I tell my young siblings all the time, or I tell them all the time. Maybe they didn't believe me, but maybe one day when they get on their own, they'll be able to relate. Like, yeah, okay, I ain't gonna lie. Big bro used to say it because you gotta really keep going. It's times you get distracted and then you just like, man, I'm not gonna worry about that. But you saying you not worrying about that is gonna come back and bite you. It's mad times, bro. I'm getting tickets because I'm staying downtown. I'm talking about, man, I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm not gonna worry about, man, my license done. You feel me? Now, like, I gotta go through the whole re-application process for a license. That mean take the test again, book an appointment. All that was like unnecessary, bro. And it kind of threw me back a little bit. It took me a while because then I needed that for a job. And all these things is like okay, at your family crib, you not really tripping on that. You smooth. Like on your own, it's different. You know, it's been times, bro. I'm making bread, but then I'm forgetting to pay certain bills. You feel me? Cause I ain't forgetting really. I'd rather spend the money here. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all. I'm making money, but I'd rather spend the money here. I'm not paying certain bills. Next thing you know, them bills is at 3,000. Then I'm like, yo, 3,000. What? How I'm gonna take care of 3,000? Why am I in that situation? Cause look, bro, I was being irresponsible with the cheese. I'm buying this. I'm doing this. I should have been paying this. You feel me? So it's important, man. Like it's very great living on your own. It kind of tests you. It's like a game. It's like a it's like are you really worthy of? You create your lifestyle, bro. You get what I mean? Like you know we all had lifestyles created for us growing up that we was into, like household vibes, this and that. But best part about being on your own, you create that lifestyle you gonna live. So if you gonna be a bum, you gonna have a bum lifestyle. Yeah, you feel me? Like the lifestyle that I would consider a bummy is like you just don't got nothing at your spot, bro. You ain't got no snacks. You ain't got no water. You ain't got no tissue. You ain't got no TV. You ain't really got furniture. Like, and it's after you've been being on your own for a while. Like, that's a bum lifestyle. Like the opposite of that is, bro, you pull up to the spot fresh, it's clean, AC bussing, heat available. It's water in the fridge. I'm like, yo, you want a water, bro? Hold on, let me grab you a water. Boom. You know what I mean? Fresh, cold water. Let's say you get hungry. I got snacks in here. You need some snacks, fam? Snacks in here. Boom. You go to the bathroom clean, presentable. Look like a 5-star bathroom. Tissue. You got to drop a deuce. You comfortable. You know what I mean? You come out, look, we ain't gotta watch cable, we got the Roku, Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? Like this like a spot. Who don't want to chill? You don't want to chill at that spot I just described? There's something wrong with you. If you want to chill at the other spot, you bugging. I want to chill at the spot. It's water, it's snacks. We watching the TV, Netflix, Roku, YouTube, whatever. I go to the bathroom, I can drop a deuce, feel comfortable. It's not dirty in here. Like, there's no bugs. My boy got tissue. You know what I'm saying? We probably blowing back in the spot. This the spot. So this is a good lifestyle, bro, has established. You know what I mean? The other lifestyle is kind of bummy. It's like, oh, we in here, we drinking spit. we're in the crib, like, cause the reason I keep mentioning water, bro, listen, if you on your own, listen, this is a key right here. Having water at the crib is like one of the best gestures you can have for any guest that comes over. Forget snacks. You don't gotta necessarily have snacks. But I was talking about having snacks. That's for you to be having snacks, At your family crib, you got snacks. Don't cap. Y'all y'all got some form of snacks at the family spot. Like your auntie, your grandma, uncle, they keep a set of snacks. Stop playing. You know that's true. But, you know, if a guest come to your spot, bro, just having the ability to offer them water is the kindest gesture. Because think about a business. When you go to a business, 9 times out of 10, yeah, they got coffee or whatever, but they tend to offer you water. They say, yo, would you like a bottle of water? You know what I mean? Because that's like the kindest gestures you could do for a guest, bro. So imagine you ain't even got water at the crib. We talking for 2 hours. I'm thirsty. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm thirsty. What's up with the water? You like, I gotta drink water out the sink. And it's like, yo, bro, that's 2010. That's 2010, gang. People was drinking water out the sink just cause, like, now it's bottled water. You gotta keep that on deck. So these are just certain keys, man, you gotta have. Or like I remember I was chilling with a shorty one time, and shorty was like, I remember I had a girl tell me this. You get what I'm saying? And this is from a girl's perspective. So, because females naturally they know they need to have all those things because they more have to like care for themselves on a different level than men. So they know they need tissue, soap, shampoo. They know they need all of that stuff. Now, as a guy, when we on our own, we think we sometimes we just free ball it. Free ball is like I done free balled it. Like I remember I had a crib. We had just moved in, but I couldn't get furniture for the longest. You feel me? I ain't gonna hold you. I had like one little chair in that junk. I had food in there, but then I just had the bed. And then I had like bed sheets or whatever. But I remember I had this girl come over, bro. She was a bad shorty. You know what I mean? Like very good looking. So we chilling, and I remember specifically getting a spot all the way ready for her. Like, you know, you know what it is, man. Like, you got a girl that you really think you is very attractive coming over. You cleaning up the spot, bro. Any real player knows, any real person that's been in that situation know you getting the spot ready. So, man, I cleaned the spot. Crazy part, I had some brand new bed sheets. You heard? Put the bed sheets on the bed, pillowcases pristine. You feel me? Tissue in the bathroom. I always kept a clean crib, but I really just tighten up. So Shorty came over, we chilling, we talking. She had to use the bathroom. She go in the bathroom. She come out the bathroom. She do her thing, whatever. And she was like, she literally told me this, bro. She's like, man, I'm surprised, but I'm impressed at the same time at your bathroom. I'm like, what you mean? She like, man, most guys when I go to their house, like, it's a lot of guys that just don't have toilet paper in the bathroom. Like, from a girl's perspective, she said that's like it's a turnoff. It shows dirty, And then she started talking about other things she don't like when men don't have bed sheets. You feel me? And that's called free balling. Free balling, you might have just the bed cover on the bed with the cover with the cover. Like you know what I mean? Like take five. That free ball, I done free ball. But Shorty says like nah, you gotta have bed sheets. You gotta have pillowcase. And she's 100% right because bro, think about it. Forget her perspective only. Think about when you was at your auntie crib, your grandma, your mom, your dad. You had pillowcase. You had bed sheets. You had tissue. You had all of these things. They were washed regularly, maintained regularly. So it's not just from a girl's perspective. It's like, dang, it's from a hygiene perspective. Like, nah, why aren't you living normally? This is like the normal way of living in a sense. So it's bittersweet, man. Anybody can do it though. But you gotta have them attributes, man. Take some keys from the live, bro. If you want to maintain that longevity and not have to face the return of shame. Everybody has to face the return of shame. I done faced that multiple times, and I had a my homie really would like say certain things that would kind of like reactivate me because sometimes I would have like man, I don't even care attitude, bro. Like, man, forget about that, bro. Because that's like my vibe sometimes when I don't really want to address something. It's like, man, forget about that, bro. I ain't gonna think about that right now. And I was staying in a condo. You know what I'm saying? Now I ain't gonna lie. When I first got the condo, I was geeked, bro. I'm geeked. This was probably like my third, fourth crib. I'm in a condo high rise. First year the condo's lit, bro. I'm talking about everybody coming in and out the condo, party vibe every night, no bluff. You know, fast forward second year is like more chill, but the condo's still busting. Condo's the vibe. Everybody pulling up because this was like the best crib out of most of my homies at the time. You know what I mean? So they pulling up. This is a spot. Personally, I don't know what went wrong, but I just stopped caring about a lot of like things that I'm supposed to care about, bro. And it got to the point, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm in a condo, I'm on 3K. I don't even know what happened, but I just didn't care about paying the bills no more in the condo for some reason, you heard? So, man, I'm in the condo, I'm on 3K, and I'll never forget Ricardo Mora, man. Shout out to Ricardo Mora, man. I'm always shout bro out, man. Bro was the leasing agent, or the leasing agent for the building, and then him and his sister. But he was the main one that moved me in and everything, got me in that junk. So he saw me maintain a condo faithfully for 2 years or whatever, bro. And when I start on 3,000 or whatever, he like had a meeting with me. He like, yo, bro, YS, what's up? You good? Like, what's going on? I'm like, man, I just really ain't been caring about paying the bills for real. I ain't gonna lie, like, but I could really get on top of that, man. He like, nah. I trust that, you gonna do that. I'm gonna give you time. How much time you think you need? And he's like, don't worry about 3,000. There's people in here on more than that. So my man told me that, it made me feel better. I'm like, damn, bro, like, cause 3 bands on your top, that's a lot, B. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm thinking like, yo, 3 bands, like, yo, that's too much bread. But he told me that to kind of like motivate me, like to take care of that. So he never pressed me, bro. He never put no eviction letter on my door, nothing, fam. You feel me? And after having that meeting with him, God gives you messages through certain people. So I'm in the condo, not appreciating the condo, bro. On some just mad, forget it type vibes, just whatever. My homie coming to the condo. My homie, I'm working with bro. He coming to the condo, you know. And crazy part, me and bro at work never used to talk at work, but then one day we figured out we had a mutual friend. He was one of my other homies. I'm like, man, you with this dude, bro? Like, he don't be saying nothing at the job. He like, bro, I just be watching you to see what you really like. So I'm like, man, yo, that's a creep, bro. So we started laughing, and then we started hanging out. Cause we worked at the same job. We just never talked. But he coming to the condo. My boy pulling up to the condo like, yo, what ass, bro? We in a condo. I'm not capping on anything, bro. He like, yo, we in a condo, bro. Man, we got the AC busting, boy. We seventh floor. I was in like 703. You know what I mean? We seventh floor. I can see the city from here, man. We got my TV vibes, Wi-Fi. We smoking dope. We eating good, bro. Man, I love the condo. He'd be saying stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, you love the condo. He's like, yeah, bro, I put those on everything, bro. If I was living in here, I'd just wake up excited just to, to say stuff like, I wake up excited just to clean the condo. Nah. And it's like hearing things like that was like reactivating me. Like, nah, I'm tripping, bro. He not lying. Like I'm in a smooth position right now. Like, why am I being kind of like non active? Why am I having ill attributes? Why am I not caring? Like, I got bro literally telling me this every time. He like, bro, I just wanted to wash dishes, bro. Kid, the dishes is dirty. He's saying all this regularly. He like, man, I just clean the counters, just to clean the counters, bro. Like, thank you, God. And all this motivated me back to like take care of the 3K, bro. I was able to take care of the 3K. Because if I ain't take care of the 3K, I gotta go back to the return of shame. For me, it's not that easy. You feel me? Like, for some it is, bro. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, some people gotta go back to start over. But it's like I don't really have the option to do that, bro. You feel me? We gotta just keep going. We might be on a flat, don't need like, but we gotta keep going till we can air up, get new tires. Like, it's no return type vibes. And it's not that because I don't want it to be like that. That's just what it is. You feel what I'm saying? So it's bittersweet, man. Anybody could do it. Just prep, man. Put some bread up, 9 to 10K. Pick up these attributes that I'm telling y'all about. Whatever situation you in right now, be humble. Appreciate that. I'm telling y'all, I'm not appreciating the condo, finna lose the condo. God brings somebody telling me like, yo, bro, you better be in here appreciating every moment of the condo. You in a prime position. And I couldn't see that, but somebody else could. You feel what I'm saying? So be ready, man, if you're gonna take that leap. Otherwise, yo, stay on the boat, man. And let whoever's driving drive that junk. You might not be ready to swim. Cause I'm telling you, swimming, when you out here swimming, boy, you swimming, you tend to get tired sometimes. You heard? Like, yo, we not gonna swim, we just drowning. And everybody that's like been out there doing what I'm saying, they know for facts, but sometimes they just be like, man, I'm just gonna forget it, man. I'm just gonna drown, bro. It's facts. And then come to return to shame. You feel me? Like, ain't no drowning, bro. We might doggy try to doggy paddle until we can get back stamina to get the, Michael Phelps in it, you heard? But that's the analogy I like to make, man. If you're not ready to swim, stay on the boat and let whoever's driving the boat drive the boat. Because for them to maintain that boat slash lifestyle for that long, bro, it takes skill, bro. It takes sacrifice. It takes patience, longevity, all of that to do something for a long time consistently, successfully, and create a lifestyle for more than one person besides yourself. That takes skill. You feel me? Like, so you might be at granny crib. Granny might not have all the bread. Granny might have some cheese, but she's making it shake. You better appreciate Granny. Granny got you eating. You can shower. You can watch TV. You can drink water, juice. Granny got you right. Appreciate Granny. Granny putting in longevity successfully for years. That's tough. Ain't nobody telling you that, but that's tough. You feel what I'm saying? If you have mom dukes, your pops, yo, you might not like their rules, but look at the lifestyle they got you in. It's established, boy. It's decent. Y'all ain't rich now, but y'all decent. You got food, you got water, place to sleep, clothes, electricity, phone. It's all you need, bro. So appreciate that. Let them drive the boat, man. Don't challenge a lot. You know what I mean? Like, cause when you do that and you get out on your own, these attributes of nobody's there to challenge you, control you. Now, what can you do? You know what I mean? And you don't want to jump off. You're not ready to swim, man. Stay on the boat.